right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to fishing. So it is mid-January at this point, and you can probably hear that wind. It is frigid out there. We got some snow this week, and we're gonna try and go at it again and get some fishing accomplished. Yeah, we did fairly well last weekend, all things considered, so we're gonna give it another shot today. But yeah, we're not going to the same exact spot as last week, as tempting as that may be. Certainly, you know, I probably could go there, maybe catch something. It's definitely gonna be tougher today. It's a lot cooler out. Right now it's hovering around 20 degrees plus wind chill. I was even flirting with the idea of going out to the reservoirs, but with this wind and this cold, I'll wait for a warmer day. So we're gonna hit a different stretch of the river, and one that I fished before, though not for quite some time, and see if we can get on some brown trout. This again is assuming no one else is there or it's very limited crowds. I don't want to go anywhere where there's a crowd. I just want to keep it nice and quiet. It's always awkward making videos when there's other people around. So that is the plan, and I hope it's something that you can stand for, and that is what you are in for. So please stay tuned, as you know we're about to do. Get some fishing accomplished. All right, at the spot now, just gearing up. We're fishing this little 3-inch gulp minnow, 4-inch maybe, I'm not sure. 10th ounce mushroom Ned jig head, Z-Man I believe, and yeah, we're just gonna drop this in some pools at some slower moving water, longer runs, and see if we can make the browns cooperate like we did last week. It's really all there is to it. So got a 6-pound test leader fluorocarbon, and see if we can make it happen. Yeah, so it is quite cold out here. I'm definitely gonna have some GoPro issues today. I can already feel it. So if the fish are biting, it's definitely gonna be a challenge to get it all on footage, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, so as you heard, this is very similar to the last video. I'm just fishing these little, streams, throwing a little jig head and just, working some of the deeper, slower moving sections. The only real difference here is it's a different stretch, and it's much colder this time. So obviously that's going to have an impact on the bite, or can have an impact. But either way, I covered some ground, and eventually I did get in some action. So let's check that out. Hell, this spot's a winner. This spot looks pretty nice. Should be something here. Question's whether we can get something to bite. Run. All right. No skunk today, folks. Whew. Oh no, oh no. Got a little carried away with that net prep. All right, let's do this quick and painless. Cool. All right, we just got that fish, and I took a minute to regroup after getting him because I had to take a bit of line off. He ended up getting a little tangled up around my net. I'm really trying to get these fish back as quick as possible. A, because it's cold, and B, just because trout are pretty fragile in general. But trying to keep the leader nice and long. These fish can be especially line shy, particularly when it's cold like this. And I put the swivel on there just in case, in the future, not necessarily here, but next spot or wherever I end up fishing a spinner, I don't want my line to get super twisted up. So just planning ahead. But yeah, that fish came on the the little gulp minnow. So it worked last week when it's warmer, and we'll see if it can doing some better sized fish. Doesn't surprise me, a fish was there. It's a good looking stretch of water, and I know there's a few more ahead of us, so we'll check that out and we'll fish this area, and if nothing, we will go to a different stretch of the river, because I know a few spots that are driving distance from here. That's a fish. That's a fish. And we lost him. Oh, well. Just dropped one, so fish around. Got him. Might be the one we just dropped. Probably not, but little guy. Prefer not to have to get in if we don't have to for this one. Little stockies. Chunky little. We're in. See ya. Just got another little guy. Right where I expected him to be after missing that first one. Little fish though. These fish definitely look more like stockies than the ones we were getting last week, which I'm sure a lot of those fish were originally stocked, but they look like they were a bit more acclimated to the water system, whereas these, you can tell, have been stocked fairly recently. But yeah, we're gonna keep going. There's definitely the potential to be some better sized fish in here. You just got to work through what we're doing right now, but let's keep pushing along and see if we can get something a little bigger. Yeah, so I worked that pool for a little bit longer, and then decided to move upriver a little bit. But as I continued to go, there's some good looking water, but I did see some other fishermen working that area, and I didn't want to crowd them. So I ended up working back to this area and eventually deciding to get back in the truck and try a different spot. And I tried a few other spots, but eventually I found one where there was some more fish, not too far from here. All right, well, we got a couple fish at that first spot, but as I kept moving up and got nicer, a few more people joined me in the water, and I didn't want to crowd them, so we're off to another area. Same general body of water, but just checking out something a little different. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do while we're moving, and assuming this even gets made into a video, you heard it, our seltzer review of the day. So right now we have the Waterloo Cherry Limeade. Pretty refreshing, not gonna lie. I'd give that a solid, probably 8.5. Probably could be a little cooler too. I'd enjoy it more, but yeah, so far so good. Let's see if we can get on something a little bigger. I'm gonna keep moving. Area of the river that I fished a few times, but never really done too well on it. See how it goes. There we go. Oh, I just had one. That was a fish. Little guy, but reassuring. We're doing something right. Try again, see if he comes back. We're on. There he is. Little guy. Ooh! Oh! Little baby. A little better than what we were getting earlier. Upriver. See ya. Got another little guy. So that's cool. Probably the one we just dropped, but who knows. Give this a little longer. Oh, on again. Another little guy. Maybe a little bigger, I don't know. Ooh. These fish are definitely pretty sluggish in this cold water. A little more color to this guy. Oh, that was a pretty crummy net job. Easy, easy, easy. See you later, buddy. Just got another guy. Probably shouldn't have touched him because my hand's pretty cold right now, but happy to get some fish. Nothing terribly big here, but I'm just happy to be catching fish in January when I could just as easily be sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing. So yeah, this is cool. There's always the possibility you could tie up to something a bit larger, so just having that, you know, in the back of your head kind of makes you want to keep going. But we'll keep pushing for a little longer. This is enjoyable to say the least, despite the cold. Ooh, there we go. That was a nice hit. Picture perfect. Little fish, but nice hit. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah, so the fish were especially stacked in that one particular part of the river. And I use the term stacked relative to the day and the time, but yeah, got quite a few hits in this particular area. And I did try moving both down and upstream from where I'm fishing at this point, but couldn't really get into anything. This is a few hours after I started in the first particular half of the video, and you might notice the sun's starting to go over the horizon, so I think part of it too is just the bite kind of turned off. Perhaps if I started a little bit earlier and fished this area a bit more thoroughly, I could have had a bit more success, but it just wasn't meant to be on this particular day. Nothing amazing, but I was happy to get out and get some fish on a particularly cold day, and anything you can do to get past these particular months till we have more options. So overall, nothing special, but a fun time nonetheless. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. Overall, not too bad. I don't even know if this is going to be a video, but if you're watching this, obviously it was. Yeah, I mean, nothing spectacular. I mean, I'm just happy to catch fish. And if I am making this video by itself, it's really just to show that there are options to fish in the Northeast. You're not going to necessarily only catch huge fish, and you might not always catch the size of the type of fish you're trying to look for, but there are options and there are fish to be caught. And if nothing else, if you're looking for some kind of excuse or idea of what you can do, this is certainly an option. So yeah, also it's nice to try a different stretch of the river and still get on some action. Again, not anything crazy or great, but just, you know, something to catch to get us through these slower months. So that's the trick. And next week or next time we go out, we'll try another area. So that's all I got for you. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye from fishing.